Do you study pro basketball history?
Sure. How you like that guy on your team that wears dresses? And how do you respond to that?
What did you say?
He's a great rebounder.
That could really humble Michael Jordan and bring him to his knees.
I guess to win a world championship would be one of the most humbling and I guess the most exciting things that I've ever been through, especially in a city that has never won it.
You guys are dead serious about this, aren't you?
We are. And Detroit brings it out of us because so many years everyone has said, you know, this is our nemesis. This is the team that we can't beat. And I think we're driven to prove to people that we can beat this team. Even myself, I'm getting to be more vocal, more aggressive. But that's a desire to show to my teammates, we want it. We got to want it real bad enough.
You know, this is a guy who came from a little town who evolved to be an important part to the history of the game of basketball, which is how anybody wants to be remembered. And then when I did choose to come back, I didn't let that be a base or a goal. I wanted to extend further than that. I want to get back to that level and extend it further if I could. You know, that was part of my driving force.
Do you study pro basketball history?
Sure. I think that's the way you learn about dealing with all different types of players, dealing with the game and the expanding of the game. You brought a different attitude, a different expansion to the game. Magic, Larry, myself.
I had great parental guidance when I was young. They taught me from day one right from wrong. And, you know, dealing with drugs and alcohol, that's wrong, and I know that what I do have to be right. I always felt that I was going to be a bachelor. No one would marry me, and I ended up doing my cooking, my dishwashing, my clothes washing, my vacuuming, and my dusting. And, you know, these are things that I should do at home because we had chores to do at home. And I just grew accustomed to doing it myself. The sewing part, I don't do quite as much anymore. Because I do it if I have to do a quick hem or something on my pants. It's a temporary hem. I know how to do that very easily. I don't have a sewing machine where I can put the hem in myself, but I don't mind doing it.
Michael Jordan is Peter Pan?
I heard that. I can see myself being like that in the basketball world. That I wish that I can never grow up and I can be this age forever and play the game of basketball forever.
I think years ago, you know, the players came in after a 4-year college experience of learning how to play the game, learning more about the physical aspects of the game, but then at the same time learning the knowledge of the game. And then once you get on this level, you apply that against the best players in the world. That only improves or enhances that mental toughness or the beauty of the game, the dedication to the game, the opportunities that the game provides. Not monetarily. That so happens to be a part of the game. You know, I got a feeling that, you know, even today, I still have that feeling. If you didn't get paid a dime, you still play the game of basketball somewhere. So the love of the game is something that either you have or you don't. You either love the game for what it's about, not for what it provides. You know, a lot of times I think today's athletes, they love the game for what it provides instead of what it is.
About 2 or 3 years ago, when this all started, Detroit, Chicago, I mean, you took some brutal hits. Does some of this disdain right now come from that? Is it born out of that maybe at one time?
And you try to play the good sportsmanship basketball that you always thought it was. And then now Detroit comes and wins with all out, a little bit of dirty, a little bit of physical play. And you get to a point where you just, hey, I'm not going to take any more of this. You know, I took it for 3 years now. Let's start fighting back.
Have you ever been afraid on the court, ever? Against
Never.
anybody?
Never.
Have you ever been intimidated by anybody?
Never. I mean, these guys put on their shorts just like me.
When they think of Michael Jordan, I don't want them to think of that he's black or white. I want them to think of him as a person. I mean, I know that's a lot to be asking from this society. I had white friends that wouldn't get picked up because they didn't feel that they could play as good as the black guys could play. That's not fair, but that happens. When I play basketball, I play 110%. And a lot of things is done instinctively. You know, I don't practice it. I don't think you can practice it. I don't think. I just act. I'm up there, I'm just up there to score points, or score the point. And to go up for a dunk or go up in the air, my legs just comes apart. Someone said that it's like a parachute. When you come down, it just slows you up when you come down to the ground.
Jerry said he was misquoted in a sense that they forgot to leave off. You know, organizations don't win championships alone, which I think is hopefully that was a way that it was, misquoted, because I do believe, and I strongly believe that players win championships. The organization has a lot to do with it. They provide us the opportunity to get to the games, and treat us when we're hurt. But no matter how you look at it, when you step on that basketball court, the players are asked to do a job so that it reflects back in terms of the organization being successful. It isn't that the organization reflects the success of the players. It's the other way around. If it's any other way, please let me know. Because when I looked at Game 5 in Utah, I didn't see organization out there playing.
Was this season as good as it can get, Michael?
It was a great season for me. I don't know if I can ever have a season like this again.
I mean, you can't get any better as a player offensively, can you?
I hope not. I think that my offensive game has reached its peak right now in the way that I'm playing and the confidence that I have in my offensive game. But I think, like I said, it could easily stereotype you as an offensive player by scoring so many points.
Preference, the Lakers and Magic, Portland because they didn't draft you, and you might want to show them why they didn't draft you. Any preference, or does it make any difference?
I'd much rather face Portland, being that the Lakers got all the experience. They've been there many times. They got the players. The Magic is so smart in those situations. And Portland hadn't won like we had. So certainly they have mistakes. They have a little bit more faults, and they still probably have a little more doubt than what the Lakers would have. Something was given to us by the notoriety, by the media, by the fans, that superstardom, and we have to protect it because everybody's coming in and trying to get it. The way I feel about what we want to achieve as a team, and I want to get away from being that individual that stands out above them. I want to be a part of them. I think that was one of the reasons that when I went up to get my MVP award, I wanted them to come with me because they were the reason I actually won it. This particular time, I was being given that MVP by my teammates, by people that I play with and I'm with 8 months out of the year, instead of the media who I see quite a bit. But my players actually gave me that because of the way they played, I feel.
Before, I had a very naive attitude about it. The way I was perceived and the way that I must live. There's no pure, perfect human being in this world. And I think because of all the adulation that I was receiving and respect that I was getting, I wanted to live that most perfect lifestyle so that everyone could always like Michael Jordan. I try to make everybody happy, but you can't make everybody happy. That's one of the things that I've learned. My father taught me, and you advised me many times that, at some point in time, you got to know when to say no. And I think coming back to the game and being away from the game and being in minor league baseball, I was able to revisit some of those stages that evolved once I was trying to get to the top. And I kind of forgot about it. And it brought the very simple things back to me as a person and to the game. It's just a game. Enjoy the game. Enjoy your life. Play the game. Be very respectful to people, but have people respect you for a human being. And don't be afraid to say, I'm with my kids, I'm with my family, I'd rather not. Be polite about it. But yet, recapture some of that realistic attitude to your life or the humanistic side of yourself. Because you were losing, I was losing it. And I was getting so wrapped up into it that I wasn't happy with what I was trying to do and what I enjoyed the most, which is playing the game of basketball.
We know the famous quote from Larry Bird, right? That it's not Michael Jordan, it's God pretending he's Michael Jordan.
I think Larry was speaking of the game, the 63-point game. It's a great compliment because, I feel that he's probably one of the best in the game of basketball right now, Magic Johnson being another.